My name is Asif Q. I'm a percussionist who specializes in Middle Eastern percussion. I've been drumming for a number of years now. I've created quite a few groups throughout the whole of the UK, from Scotland all the way down to the south coast of England. I'm also part of a band based in the UK called the Nomads, and we fuse various genres of music and rhythm, from Irish to American blues, obviously across to the Middle East, to make our music. I've also taught at many of the Middle Eastern dance and music festivals throughout the UK. The following sets of videos are going to look into Middle Eastern percussion, obviously, and looking into the three main percussion instruments that are used to play the music and rhythm. We will concentrate on just one of them called the darbuka, which I'll show you a little bit later on, and how it is played. We will look into not only rhythm, we will look into firstly the popular rhythms that are played throughout the Middle East, also then looking into unusual odd-timed rhythms that you find in this region. And also how to add flavour into your drumming, not only in rhythm, but also soloing on top of rhythm. I look forward to seeing you in the future, and I hope you enjoy the videos. Thanks very much. So, the three main types of percussion instrument in Middle Eastern music. The first one is a frame drum, okay? And this one here, which we call a duf, okay? This is a deep shell duf, deep shell as in the depth of the shell here. Frame drums come in various different forms, sizes, names, etc., etc., throughout the whole of the world. So you have the shamanic Native American drums. You have the baran from Ireland. From Persia, you have, and Turkey, you have one called the tar, which is a thinner shelled one, and they tend to be larger in diameter. In Persia, they sometimes have chains on the back, and there's a shaking technique that you use and adds a little bit of a shaky sound when it's played. Also in Morocco and North Africa, there's a frame drum called the bendir. And the bendir has a snare on the back, which adds a little bit of a zzz on the back of to the sound of the drum. So for our purposes, I want to show you this one, which is called a duf, and it's only played single-handedly. In the other countries, you use various beaters, but also in those countries, it's played double-handedly, like this on your lap, or like this with two hands. But for our purposes, we're going to play single-handedly, or I'm going to show you how the duf is played single-handedly. So it's played with our dominant hand and rested on our non-dominant. So you can see there's a cutout here, and this cutout is placed on our non-dominant hand, so it's just resting there. So you can see my thumb, and my thumb now grabs the wooden frame, okay? So it's just resting there. I could take my thumb off, and my hand just cradles the drum, and it's quite well balanced once you get used to where the balance point is on the drum, okay? So say there's three main hits that we play on this style of drum. The first one is our bass sound, and it's played with this squidgy part of our hand and the flat of the hand here, our fingers, okay? So the squidgy part goes on this edge, and you hit and bounce back. You can hear the bass sound. Sounds absolutely beautiful, okay? This allows, by bouncing off, allows the drum head to vibrate. Our next sound, actually, we want it to be a closed sound, and closed in the sense that we want to stop the drum head from vibrating. And this is the same sort of movement, but this time instead of using our hand, the flat of that hand, we just use the pads, not the tips, but the pads of these fingers. So this is our bass sound, and this is our sucker or slap sound, okay? And it's an accented sound. Okay, so this is our bass, and this is the slap. Okay? The next sound is used as a substitute, or vice versa, for our slap, which is a tek sound. I'm using my middle finger and just the first knuckle. Yeah, so that first knuckle is again on this edge here. So, yeah? And this one does bounce off, so we want the drum head to vibrate. Okay, so we have three main sounds. So we have a bass or doom, sucker or slap, tek. So doom, slap, tek, and then doom, slap, tek. I'm going into a bit of a waltz there. So those are our sounds that are played on this deep-shelled durf from the Middle East. And like I say, this is a very, very important instrument in Middle Eastern percussion. It's important because the players that play this, he or she is in charge of the tempo and keeps the tempo of the music going throughout, playing with other musicians or just playing for the other percussionists. And it's the other percussionists that actually are listening out and watching the durf player to see where they are in each particular part of the rhythm to help keep their timing, and it keeps everyone's timing. Okay, because say these are pretty big, hefty drums, so they can be heard over and on top of stringed instruments or other types of instruments, and also the other percussion instruments that I'm going to show you. So this is a very, very important instrument in Middle Eastern percussion. Okay, the next drum I'm going to show you is it's called the darbuka. It has many different names. It's a goblet-shaped drum, which you find in many, many different parts of the world. And traditionally, they used to be made from clay, yeah, terracotta, and also the skins were fish skin. Unfortunately, I have one of these drums, but I can hardly play it. I have to put a lamp inside to heat the skin up, because obviously living and working in the UK and also Italy now, we can have a very damp climate, which means that the skins, it's very difficult to keep tension on the skin. These ones now are generally made from aluminium cast, covered very beautifully with mosaics, and also with plastic heads. This head, although it looks like a skin, it's not. It's a plastic one, and this helps to keep the tension on the drum, and we don't have to worry about it. It's tuned using these bolts that you see around. This drum is unusual in the sense that it's played on our lap, and it's played with our non-dominant hand on top and our dominant hand to the side. So it's sort of like a 3 or 9 o'clock played in quarters, whichever way you're looking at it. Again, this one, in comparison with the durf, this one has many, many different sounds. We're going to look into 3 of the basic sounds initially in the videos, and also how to play them. And it's this instrument that we're going to look mostly into throughout the whole of the sets of videos which follow this one. We could spend a long time looking into various techniques and playability of the different durfs and frame drums that you get, and also in another instrument which is just here called the rick, which I'm going to show you in just a second. But it's this one that we're going to be looking mostly into, okay? Using the 3 sounds that I've already showed you on the durf, okay? So the next instrument that I wanted to show you is called a rick, okay? So I'm going to use a swear word here. It's a headed tambourine. Okay, I shouldn't really say that, but I did. So again, this one I have here is a wooden framed one with a fish skin, again, it's very, very difficult to keep in tune. So it's played with our fingers generally, using similar names of sounds. So our bass sound, our tech sound, our slap sound. We also use the zills or the cymbals on the side of this rick. Okay, so this is a wooden frame with a skin, but I also have a tunable one which is made from aluminium and a plastic head, which I don't have to worry about the tension on the skin. It keeps this tension. So again, it has a different sound. It has more of a, how can I say, a higher sound in comparison with the skinned one. The skinned instruments, if you play skinned percussion, have a warmer sound and are very nice. So again, we have our bass, our slap, our tech, but also our tech is there and it's played both-handed. And again, similarly to the duff, it's placed in our non-dominant hand, okay? So I normally make like a U shape, yeah, with my hand here. And inside that U, resting on the side of the finger here, I place the rick, okay? And you can see from behind, I have my thumb free, and that actually clasps the zills on the back. So you can see that I'm actually touching and clasping. So I'm creating like a lock with these fingers, and this finger is actually on the edge, not on the skin. Yeah, so it's actually on the edge. So it's that there. I also use this finger to hit the edge. So I've got a clamping mechanism there to actually hold the rick in place. It leaves this finger free to also play the sound, and this hand also to play. Yeah, to play the sounds. This one, in the hierarchy of Middle Eastern percussion, it goes from the duff, it goes from the duff to the darbuka, to the top of the rank, the rick. Reason being is if you make a mistake on this one, everyone will hear you. So your competence level has to be really, really high to play this because, again, you can hear it because it's so high in sound. You'll hear it over and above all the other instruments. And so therefore, if you make a mistake, you're also heard. So in terms of the hierarchy, this is the top of the run, then it's the darbuka, and then it's the duff. But actually, it's the other way around in importance of percussion, because it's the duff that keeps the tempo, and it's these two that are adding the flavor and highlighting rhythm in and out of rhythm. So again, those are the three basic Arabic instruments. So how do we play the darbuka? The darbuka is played on our lap. So I'm going to pick up the drum, and I'm going to place it over my non-dominant leg. I'm right-handed, so it goes over my left leg, and the edge of it is just rested on my right leg. I bring my legs in a little bit, so if I let go of the drum, it's in place without me having to hold it in position, okay? So my arm, my non-dominant arm, in my case, my left arm is then placed to the side of the drum, and then my hand rests at round about 12 o'clock, okay? Do never put your elbow on top of the drum. There's a little nerve in between these two bones here on the elbow, okay? And you put any sort of pressure, long-term pressure on them, and you'll start to get a tingling sensation in your arm. And that's what you don't want in your left arm especially, okay? So it's placed on the side, and again, this sort of like just tucks the drum in, and again, helps to hold it in position. It sometimes helps to raise your left leg. There's a couple of ways you can do that. So you can either raise the foot and place the back of the heel on the leg of the chair. It raises this leg and it helps to keep that in position. Alternatively, you can use a yoga block underneath that foot or a guitar footstool, etc., just to raise that leg to help keep the drum in position without it moving. We sit quite upright as well. So don't try and sit over your drum and slouched, etc., because one, it'll create tension, and two, it'll start to hurt your back and your shoulders. So we try and keep as upright as possible, okay? So, our three main hits that we're going to look into to play these Middle Eastern rhythms. Our first sound is our bass sound. It's called a doom, and it's played with the flat of the hand from that squidgy part upwards. So it's all of this part of the hand here, okay? This squidgy part rests on this edge of the drum here. So if I actually put my thumb around the edge and put my hand in, it should rest there. Yeah, so you can take the thumb away now. And so it's played with the flat of the hand here, okay? And it bounces straight back off. I'm leading with the wrist and then flicking. So I've got this sort of like flicking motion happening here. So it's back out. Our finish to the hit is in and out. So it doesn't finish here. Otherwise we get a really dead close sound. We want a nice open sound here, okay? Similarly, we have a high sound, which is our tek sound, which is played on the edge of the drum here, and it's played with our middle finger, okay? So our middle finger and just the first knuckle, and our first knuckle hits this edge. You'll see with me, I spread my fingers. Now, if you want to start off and learning how to play from the beginning, you can go together, apart, together, apart, yeah? But what I normally tell my students is if you keep this hand together for both of these hits, initially, you don't have to think about trying to spread your fingers because there's a lot of things to think about when you're first learning, okay? The spread will happen naturally, okay? So again, we are leading, it's the same motion, leading with the wrist, yeah, and flicking and back out again. So our finish is out, okay? And with both these hits, we're thinking our drum is really, really hot and we can hardly touch the drum. So you're trying to flick out as quick as you can. So we've got two sounds. So we have a doom and then a tek. And then doom, tek, okay? Our next, because this hand is feeling a little bit left out, our next hit is called a ka. Okay, so our doom is spelled D-O-U-M, and our tek is T-A-T-E-K, and then now our ka, K-A, ka, is played with our ring finger on our non-dominant hand. It's one of the hardest hits to learn, so don't be too frustrated with yourselves if you don't get a sound initially. It will come over time as this finger really starts to get a little bit more practiced, okay? So it's played with our ring finger and then again, the first knuckle of our ring finger. So that first knuckle hits this edge here, okay? So initially I'm going to show you a little bit of movement that we can do to get this fired up, to get this ring finger fired up. So it's going to be just played and bounced off with that ring finger, okay? So it just bounces off. And now I'm going to grab, and have a little bit of movement from the wrists with the grab. Yeah, grab. And again, it's led with that wrist. If I've lifted, I just drop. Lift, drop, grab. Lift, drop, grab. Okay? So in slow motion, what's happening is I'm lifting, I'm throwing from the wrist, this hand is opening up and I'm going down, and here I'm lifting back up so I get the hit on the way back up. So this is the slow motion variation of what's happening. So, okay. So the power again is away from the drum. I'm also now lifting from the elbow. Okay, so if I'm lift here, okay, this is our car. Lift, drop, grab. Lift, drop, grab up, okay? Again, this is one I spent weeks just sitting there doing this to get the sound. I'm still learning how to play all of these sounds, okay? So take your time, don't get too frustrated. Maybe initially go for coordination, and then you can think about the quality of sound. We also try not to, in any of these motions, do any twisting variations to try and get the sound a little bit, this sort of thing. That will really, really start to hurt. You get tennis elbow, RSI, okay? You see some techniques, which is a Turkish technique, where you see that the wrists are turning. It's not the primary powering source of the hit. The wrist moves as a secondary motion to the fingers hitting. Yeah, I'm not powering that from the wrist, it's powered from the fingers. And the wrist is coming along for the ride, if you see what I mean. Okay, so I don't teach this Turkish style, I teach the Middle Eastern style, but you see some of the Turkish drummers, and some of the Middle Eastern drummers play like this. Yeah, so be careful not to do this twisting motion because it will start to hurt your hands and your elbows, okay? So we have three main sounds. We have a doom, tek, ka, and then a doom, tek. We're going to play a little bit of a waltz. Doom, tek, ka. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Verbalizing these hits really, really helps to make connections with your brain and your hands. Okay. So initially, say to yourself. So say doom, tek, ka, and doom, tek, ka, and doom, tek, ka, and doom, tek, ka, doom, tek, ka. Last one, tek, ka. It really makes this connection from here to your hands, okay? So after some time, if you're saying in your head, doom, your hands will do that, tek, ka. Yeah, it's like an instinctive thing. You're trying to build up this thing which is called muscle memory, okay? So little exercises that we can be doing to start off to try and get our coordination a little bit better. So we're going to do a hand over hand technique, okay? Which is when one hand hits and comes away, the other one comes down. So you can imagine if there's a pulley here and this is like going up and down like this. Do you know what I mean? So it's going backwards and forwards, okay? So we're going to do tek, ka, tek, ka, tek, ka, tek, ka, tek, ka, tek, ka. As relaxed as possible. We're not playing tennis where we're using arms. We're doing badminton where we're using wrists. A little bit like, if you can imagine, we'll play two more. So it goes 1, 2, okay? Imagine a T-Rex. A T-Rex is like this, okay? T-Rex drumming, a speciality, okay? So the T-Rex is like this. So you're drumming like this, but we're doing it with a little bit more. It's T-Rex drumming with style, you could say. So the power, everything comes from the wrist. So you're nicely relaxed, okay? If you're not relaxed, you will never be able to get faster later on as your playing gets better. So again, we're going to go from tek, ka. So after 4, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and tek, ka, tek, ka, tek, ka, tek, ka. We're going to speed up slightly. Tek, ka, 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 tek, ka. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slightly faster. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Go as fast as you can. 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So this is a practice you can do. As soon as you start to get a little bit of inconsistency between the hits, because they need to be even the spaces in between, as soon as you get a little bit inconsistent, slow it back down again and try and build up that speed. Okay? Now we're going to try and do waltz in a slightly different way in order to try and get this hand, this car hand, yeah, into action, yeah, because we need to get this one into action because it's the hardest hit to play. So we're going to do alternates in threes, and our ones are going to be a doom or a tek. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, tek, 2, 3, doom, ka, tek, ka, doom, ka, tek, ka. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, doom, ka, tek, ka, doom, ka, tek, ka, doom. Speed up a little bit. Tek, ka, doom, ka, tek, doom, ka, tek, ka, doom, ka, tek, ka, doom, ka, tek, ka, doom, ka. Doom, ka, tek, ka, doom, ka, tek, ka, doom, ka, tek, ka, doom, ka. Okay, so again, take it very, very slowly, build up this speed, build up your stamina. Yeah, as soon as you start to get a little bit inconsistency between the rhythms, between the spaces start to get a little bit inconsistent, yeah, slow it back down until this become consistent and then try and speed back up again. The next thing I want to show you is a way of playing percussion. Percussion basically, when you play, is a hand over hand technique. Okay? No matter what percussion you're playing, it's hand over hand. Depending what sound you make from each hand or what instrument you play, if you're using sticks, yeah, you create a rhythm within there. Okay? So, for the case of the darbuka, this is called the running method of playing Middle Eastern rhythm. We're going to start off with tekkers on a count of 8. So it goes 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and tekka, tekka, ka, tekka, 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 tekka. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. 2. Next time around, we're going to hit a doom on 1. 6 and 7 and 8 and doom. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 and 8 and doom. 2, 1 and 3 this time, dooms. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and doom. 2, 3, 4, 5 and 1, 3 and 5. 7 and 8 and 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 and 7 and 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 1, 3, 5 and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it goes doom ka tekka, doom ka tekka, doom ka tekka, ka tekka, doom ka tekka, doom ka tekka, doom ka tekka, doom ka. I'm going to accent one of those texts. Accenting means I'm going to hit it slightly louder. If you can't hit it louder, soften everything else up. I'm just softening everything else up. So the verbalization goes dum ka tekka, dum ka tek, dum ka tekka, dum ka tek, dum ka tekka, dum ka tek, dum ka tekka, dum ka tek. Dum ka tekka, dum ka tek, dum ka tekka, dum ka tek. I'm going to speed speed up slightly. Tek, dum-ka, tek-ka, dum-ka, tek-ka, dum-ka, tek-ka, ka-tek. Don't forget that ka. Ka, dum-ka, tek, dum-ka, tek-ka, 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 dum-ka, tek. You speed up slightly, very slowly. Tekka, dum-ka, tekka, dum-ka, tekka, dum-ka, tek, dum-ka, tekka, dum-ka, tek, dum-ka, tekka, dum-ka, tekka, dum-ka, tek, dum-ka, tekka, dum-ka, tek, dum-ka, tekka, dum-ka, tek, dum-ka, tekka, dum-ka, tek. Little bit more. Four more. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was our first rhythm played, although we speeded up towards the end. Obviously, if you're not ready for that speed yet, stick with the slower variation and start off with these tekkas. Yeah, then add alternating dooms. This car is always hitting. Okay. Then accent the second tek. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1. If I play the basic, 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and. So our dominant hand is always playing this. 1, 2, and 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 1, 2. Now we're going to add the car in. And now we're going to slightly speed up. And then we're going to gradually speed up. We might get to a fast speed. And even if I take my car hand away, now, this hand is always doing this. This rhythm is a falahi. I'm just gonna speed it up a little bit more. Okay, I'm sorry, I played a little bit of fancy stuff at the end there, but we'll move on to that sort of stuff. So that was a running method of playing rhythm. You can play all these Arabic rhythms using this method. I hope you enjoyed that. We'll be looking in the next video at 2/4 count rhythms. This one was a 2/4 count rhythm, as in it lasts for a count of 2. Thank you very much for joining me.